What is the most not safe for work thing you have witnessed at a party? A stripper whipping my boss with his own belt. I was 15. And this was a McDonald's staff party. Update. As I have a lot of replies asking for context clarification, the stripper was perfectly normal. Not Mayor McCheese or some other nightmarish Macca's character. This wasn't a strip club. It was held at an employee's house as the franchisee forbade us from using the store or hiring an actual venue. Some of the older guys booked her as it had been his birthday recently and he had just worked. We were all drinking. And as she was a private hire, nobody got ID'd. Also, you can work at 14 where I live, Australia, and work is exactly what I did. Friend hired a prostitute for his day party and she proceeded to bang any guy who wanted it. None of them even knew. They all thought she was some chick who was visiting from Georgia. They still tell the story like she wasn't a prostitute. When I was still in college, I was at a sorority party with my then girlfriend. A woman, probably a freshman, was on the floor. Ass up. Pants and panties to her ankles. Funnel in her ass and people were pouring shots in her asshole. I was too high, drunk and stupid back then to realize that this could easily have killed her and I just left the room with my GF. Had this happened today, I definitely would have intervened. But back then I was just like, whoa dude. She lived. So it's all good. Deleted. At a high school house party back in 2012. This one girl got so cross-faded, drunk and high. And I accidentally walked in on her in the restroom. She was peeing on the floor right next to the toilet. Like. Straight up. Had her pants and panties around her ankles. Hands on her knees. And was just letting loose. She didn't seem embarrassed by me witnessing this. But she said she didn't want to contaminate clean water. And that someone might want to drink that. That was one of my more confused boners. Watched a guy lose at beer pong and get mad enough that he turned around and punched the first thing he could land his hand on. Which turned out to be a window. In the movies, if you break a window, you don't get hurt. In real life, if you slam your fist through a window, the falling glass cuts you so deep you practically amputate your own hand. There was so much blood that we thought that was what happened. We thought he sliced his hand off. One of the sober partiers rushed him to the hospital while the rest of us just left because the scene involved so much blood and gore that none of us even wanted to party anymore. He ended up okay. Has a gnarly scar for the rest of his life. But at least he didn't actually lose his hand. A few of us were sitting in a room smoking up when a drunk guy came running in. He looked at us, pulled his pants down and lit his pubes on fire while shouting bushfire. My girlfriend and I watched two guys fuck her best friend in a shower. It was just that kind of party. Back in high school, friend had an open house and threw a party. Uncle came to check on us. And we found him smelling a girl's vomit in the bathroom and playing with himself. That's one fucked up fetish. Partying in the barracks. My room had all the beer in the fridge. I was going down on this girl when I felt a hand on my left shoulder. Briefly paused to look up. When my buddy says, "Kixtant, you're doing a great job." I just needed to grab a beer. I went right back to what I was doing. A guy shit his pants while trying to dance with a girl. He was beyond fucked up and that defined the rest of his stay-in career. Edit. This is from 2005 to 2006. We were stationed at Camp Casey. Then moved to Camp Castle right up the road. We were the main support battalion closest to the north. He wasn't nervous. Just couldn't not shit his pants when he got super wasted. This blew up pretty quickly for a shit your pants story. Thanks for letting me relive some great times I hadn't thought about in years. Friend's mom blowing a bunch of teens. At a party in a huge house on the lake that had a second living room upstairs. Walking up the stairs I can hear all this commotion going on. As I enter the room there is this guy smashing a chick on the couch. Doggy style. Right there in front of everyone. He was getting high fives from other guys and people were just standing around watching and cheering. Well, a few years later, I get married and at Thanksgiving dinner with my in-laws when my brother-in-law brings his new girlfriend to meet the family. You guessed it. It was her. Same girl that was getting smashed on the couch. Well, he ended up getting married to this girl, and now every time I see them at a family get-together, all I can see is the image from that night at the lake. Saw some guy put a banana in the washing machine. Put it on a 40 spin and masturbate whilst watching it. Don't do drugs. Kids. Dude ran to the bathroom. Yelled I got a shit, then pulled his pants down. Sat his ass on the toilet. And puked on the floor in front of him. Realizing his mistake, he stood up. Faced the toilet to puke. And shat on the floor behind him. Work friend of a friend. Pouring this girl triple JD and cokes all night. Then volunteering to take her upstairs and put her to bed. She was visiting and staying over at the house. She could barely stand or talk, so me and 2 others note this pretty hard. Told the guy to fuck off and got the owner of the house who she was staying with to see that she was alright. A girl was proud that she could fit a 1.25L Coke bottle in her vagina. Everyone was like, yeah. Cool. That's kind of weird to tell everyone, and everyone carries on. About 3 hours later, everyone is fucked up and the party is getting a bit weird. Some people had taken acid. Some had dropped some marcaps. Some were smoking weed. Standard stuff. This girl is off her face on Mdma and is adamant about wanting to show everyone how cavernous her vagina is. So she takes her skirt off. And readied herself. Then proceeds to put a 1.25L Coke bottle halfway inside herself. Everyone was shocked but fascinated. She was so proud. She wasn't so proud the following week at school when everyone called her Cola Candice. Edit, a word. Happened at my house. Girl came over. Got way too drunk, took off all her clothes and started masturbating on my stairs and then on the couch and then back on my stairs. Then she fell down set stairs. We tried putting her to bed before all this went down. But she kept coming back out. Each time with less and less clothes on. Eventually we all just kinda ignored her and let her do her thing. Edit, I just wrote this out if order. We tried putting her to bed multiple times first. Each time she came out she had fewer and fewer clothes on until she was naked. Then she started doing her thing. Deleted. Deleted. I saw a guy exchange a bump of cocaine for temporary use of a phone charger. I was at a Halloween party in the last year of high school, where 2 friends of mine had a threesome with a girl in the bathtub while one other girl watched. That's how my friend lost his virginity. A guy and a girl full on fucking missionary style at a warehouse party. Dozens of people just walked by with barely a glance. A San Francisco. I once saw a guy shit his pants and then chuck them out the window. Am I the only one who doesn't go to parties like these? Fuck. A woman with no pants on running out of my friend's bedroom shouting too much dick. Edit. Since this popped up multiple times, no, this wasn't Podrick. And since I've heard that several times now, can someone please tell me who that is? Thank you. Also. No, he only had one dick. I have seen it. He was not exactly shy about it. To quote one of our favorite stories about having gone to his cabin for a summer, we came downstairs to find him wearing nothing but a pillow and a smile. The pillow was under his head. A lady smoking a cigar with her butt. I've been to a couple of parties where a few people decided it would be a good idea to throw decorum to the wind and start fucking in the backyard. Most of us gathered round to watch. But on one occasion, a few others joined in. Watched a girl drink a beer bottle full of piss. My friend thought it would be hilarious to piss in a bottle and put it in the fridge. A girl who was smashed picked it out the fridge and then drank some. She shouted, "This tastes like piss," then proceeded to take another sip. Never drink an open bottle of beer left in the fridge at a party, people. Edit, my inbox is full of piss. We have this monthly team party which goes after our office shifts. My super drunk colleagues started sending dick pics to our team's Skype group conversation. All along he thought he was using the Messenger app. Was at a party once with some guys I didn't know too well when Robbie Williams' rock DJ started playing. Within 20 seconds every dude in the place was butt naked swinging his dong around. Apparently it's some kind of lad thing that it's compulsory to, no matter where you are, get naked whenever that song plays. Someone did a bump of coke in the bathroom, then took off all his clothes and ran around the house. The reason why the police were called was because this was at a 13-year-old's birthday party. When I was a sophomore in high school, a girl I know invited me to a party she was throwing at her house. In hindsight I realized she had a crush on me. In high school, I did not party at all, nor drink, but I was curious so I decided I would go. I get to this party and the eventual valedictorian of our class was dancing topless on a glass table, barefoot. A split second after I notice this, her weight causes the table to collapse and shatter. Since I was the only even remotely sober person at the party, I was tasked with dealing with the fallout. Thankfully, it was relatively tempered and the shards weren't particularly small or sharp. And she wasn't too badly injured. Edit. Well, this is by far my highest ever upvoted comment. To celebrate I had very spicy noodles. Yum. While you were out partying and having premarital sex, I was studying the blade. It's going to pay off any day now and I'm going to be deep in pussy. We were at a house party and this drunk guy got on the roof. Everyone wanted him to jump into the pool so he did. Breaks an ankle in the process when he missed. Seen two blokes trying to get a girl into bed, not at the same time. The one who actually did came back after and threw the used condom in the other bloke's face and says, "Smell what you could have won." Final year of high school. At a party where everyone was really wasted. Like the stupid drunk you got before you understood limits. One girl couldn't handle it anymore. So she pulled her jeans down and started masturbating on the couch in front of everyone. Was dark and I don't know if everyone really noticed. Wasn't like those videos where everyone stands around cheering, but then the dad who owned the place walked in and it got kind of awkward. Good party. A cast party for the theater department at my university led to an orgy. 4 guys 5 girls. A while back I was too young to be at a party and this girl ran out of one of the kitchen buck naked, started twerking on the wall. Her boyfriend rushed into the room, literally picked up his GF and started to carry her to his car. The whole time they were walking to the car she kept yelling about how she couldn't wait for the dick tonight. I was 14 visiting my 19 years old cousin. I wasn't ready. In college the conversation of circumcision came up. I'm not circumcised, so I pulled out my dick to show these girls. They never seen one before and wanted to see mine, and one of the girls started jerking me off. Edit. I also need to mention that I did hook up with her that night. Her roommate and some of my homeboys were watching me. It was the first time anyone actually watched me fuck. This happened on a Friday, the week before the beginning of the new semester. That Monday I went to one of my classes, I think it was organic chemistry, and somebody kicked my seat. I turned back and it was her. We were okay friends after that. I haven't spoken to her after graduation. Walked in on a girl taking a dump on a guy. Posted before but still not safe for work. NSFW. Darwin Award. Guy that I knew of in high school thought that because he was gangster he knew how to handle a gun. Grabs a revolver from the home and tries to cowboy gunslinger it by spinning it on his finger. He got 1 or 2 rotations in and bang 1. 38 round right to the empty space between the ears. Party died just as fast as he did. Went to a topless party in college. As in a party where guys and girls were shirtless. After doing a jello shot off of a stranger's boobs, I told my friends a few doors down about the party. They arrived just as most of the girls went into a back room to get high. And a big bearded man decided to show off his Jacob's ladder by making it a bottomless party. My friends didn't trust me for a while after that. Some chick was having a house party while her parents were out of town and she was in her teens. Invited like half the school. She was a typical stuck-up bitch that didn't really have real friends, just a bunch of fake ones. Anyways, this one guy is having a good time being reasonable and she doesn't like him, so she has a bunch of people just starting to treat him like shit. He then gets told to leave and he's like, I gotta use the bathroom first, and there is currently all bathrooms occupied, so she tells him to leave, he can't use the washroom. The dude then said, oh, there's a urinal here, and proceeds to punch a hole in the wall and pisses in it. Edit, added a few words. Her parents. Some dude passed out in the corner of this apartment party and there was a dude crouched over him trying his hardest to shit on his head. He couldn't do it, so nothing happened, but I wondered if I should have told the passed out guy what he tried to do. But then again, if someone tried to shit on my head when I was passed out, I wouldn't want to know about it. In a nightclub one time, I saw a man, probably late 20s early 30s, drop his jeans and proceed to diarrhea shit all over the floor. Never going back to that club. Edit, obligatory, get swifty, https://www. YouTube.com watch. V equals I 1188 go for page 1e. I went to a party in college and made my way to the beer pong table. Teamed up with this cute chick I worked with and we proceeded to run the table. I was absolutely on fire and managed to skunk pretty much everyone at the party. House rule was if you get skunked you have to remove one article of clothing for every round you played. Needless to say, me and my partner were the only ones fully clothed by the end of the night. It was actually pretty terrible because all I wanted was to see my co-workers' tits. Walked in on the host's parents going at it. Can't be unseen. I wish I hadn't come into this so late. I threw a party at my house and a bunch of people from another school that I didn't know showed up. One guy came wearing a Hulk mask and those giant Hulk gloves. He ended up fucking this chick on my pool table. Still wearing his outfit. Chanting, give it to the Hulk. Give it to the Hulk. TLDR Hulk smash. Oh, I got one. Junior year of high school. There was this huge circle made in the living room. So I made my way to the front to see what was up. My classmate was going at it with some chick missionary style. Everyone was filming it and cheering them on. He finished on her stomach and someone threw confetti in the air with everyone exclaiming for joy. Definitely in my top 10 WTF moments. Although I'll admit, watching it was a little hot. An Eiffel Tower. Once saw a girl in a one-piece bathing suit. Not sure why, because they didn't even have a pool. Deleted. Some bitch ate all my peanut butter biscuits. I'm at some meetup for PAX and we've got people from all over the country crammed into like 3 rooms. Some guy pissed himself. We kick him out. 2 dudes take turns railing some not very hot chick. The night goes on and things quiet down. Until like 4 AM when these dudes start talking about calling for a hooker. When I got home I'm pretty sure I had swine flu too. It was shitty. XGF and myself was at a 3-day house party. Somehow everyone started playing dare. When it got to my ex's turn she dared a chick to blow me in front of everyone. I had no objections to this. Halloween night. After drunken truth or dare. I walked in on my so's brother and cousin going to town on each other. Edit, neither of them were involved in the drinking. Someone changed a fuse while inebriated. That's just reckless. We were at a house party where everyone was pretty smashed when someone pulled out the host's tiny kitten from the closed-off room it was in. It got passed around from person to person, just having the ever-loving shit petted out of it. I wasn't around it when it happened, so I don't know if the kitten was just rough-handled so badly its neck was broken, or if it died of stress or was dropped, but at one part of the night a girl started screaming that the kitten was dead. The worst part was the host was crying, but there was still a bunch of guys around her trying to convince her to let them keep going with the party. I never went to that many parties. Probably the worst it's got for me was one time when I was at a small house party with some folks from secondary school in the UK. We would have all been 15-16 at the time, at my female classmate's house. Went upstairs to visit the powder room. Came back down to the living room to find about 6 girls sat on a duvet on the floor. right in front of the couch I'd been sitting on, discussing their favorite masturbation techniques. Me being me, I just resumed my seat and pretended not to listen. But of course I was listening. And they carried on talking. Error CXTV 5867 parsing text null x66. I was at a college pool party with all my friends. But they invited some weird looking guys, but hey. They brought more food and drinks. We were all in the pool just having fun. It wasn't a really big pool. Maybe 15 MTS long tops, and then out of nowhere they started having sex there while we all were inside the pool. We all ran from the pool. Some girls were screaming. And they just kept doing it. I swear to God those guys didn't give a fuck at all. I've seen a lot of crazy stuff. But distinctly remember being in the basement at a house party playing a game where everyone ends up naked. Door busted open and I'm looking at the boots of the town sheriff yelling for his daughter. Oh shit, she can't find her pants. Help me find my pants. Deleted. Deleted. Then new girlfriend invited me to a party at a hotel room. Lots of alcohol. Many of them had drugs. Sobriety has left the building. After most everyone had passed out. I was woken up by my GF or she was woken up by some guy trying to rape the girl he brought in her sleep. Didn't go so well for him. I got a nice BJ in the middle of the party. It was nice. A threesome which involved anal, which shortly became a gangbang until my friend sobered up and left the room. We all watched from the window due to the smell, and it made the term swapsies take on a whole new term for the remainder of uni. A midget getting a blowjob while standing on a couch. The chick was standing on the floor and the heights just worked out. Edit. Bonus story. We were all drinking in my buddy's basement, about 21-22 years old at the time. When I walked up to go to sleep in his spare bedroom, there was a baby sleeping next to the bed. Still not sure whose it was as I went to the couch, and in the morning it was gone. Tens of thousands of dollars worth of damage to a really nice house. Classic case of parents are away for the weekend and trust their 16-year-old daughter to not fuck up. Pre-social media days, well, MySpace was around, but word got out of an open party quickly and hundreds rocked up and unleashed chaos. People were kicking holes in walls, destroying furniture, etc. But the memorable ones were people queuing up to fill the bathtub up with piss, shitting in appliances, and Tarzan swinging of hanging lights and even an overhead projector. It's more NSFL. But one time a guy threw a chair at a girl, hitting her directly in the face. There was a moment of shock and people ran to help her. But then everybody, including the women, seemed to lock eyes like, we are going to fuck this guy up. He soon tripped and fell down the deck stairs 4 times. More not safe for work. Saw a guy at a party in college beating off 2 guys and blowing one sitting in the middle. I let them have their privacy. And while I'm not personally gay, I did pause for a moment before I left. The coordination involved was impressive no matter what your sexuality. Wife and I hosted a few Halloween parties over the years. Nothing really scandalous. Just good times. One year had a girl fall down the stairs. House was a split level. It was like 6 stairs. And somehow turned it into a single-handed cartwheel. With beer in hand. She somehow landed it, leaving a bit of beer on the wall. And a big dent in the ceiling from the heel of her shoe. I would have never believed it had I not been standing there talking to someone and seeing it actually happen. Then we had kids. And lost our fun factor. Edit. Spelling. I saw a girl take out her tampon and use it to write hardcore on the wall. My friends and I lit some shit on fire in a sewage tunnel one time. We had pretty boring parties. When I was 13, I was at a party and one of the girls passed out drunk and some guys shoved a squirt gun in her pussy and squirted it full of water. I made them stop and they hated me for the rest of the year. A girl blindfolded, tied down to a bench and sucking off whoever was standing in front of her while her girlfriend alternated between spanking and whipping her. Addendum: if this is SFW for you, please let me know where you work. It sounds fun. Ran into an old high school friend at a Wendy's. She invited me to her church and subsequently her church party. We get to the party and her BF warns everyone not to let her have any alcohol. Apparently she gets annoying when she's drunk. As soon her BF goes to the bathroom. Of course I snuck her a drink. BF comes back from the bathroom. And she's mad horny. She wants to suck his dick in front of everyone. He's like fuck no. So then she starts offering BJS to other guys until her BF is essentially forced to comply and we all get to watch a blackmail blowjob. A bunch of the guys decided to have a farting contest. One gambled and lost and shot a poo nugget at least 5 feet into some girl's lap that was sitting across from him. She ran out screaming like a banshee. Walked in on my best friend's little sister sucking 2 guys' dicks at one time. I quietly exited and never spoke a word lol. Was at a party at a family restaurant. One of my best friends had tea martinis and was in a raucous mood. She managed to get up and stand on a table and then proclaimed, "Hey everybody, I got a tattoo of a mouse. Check it out." So she takes her shorts and panties off and she's standing on the table. Completely butt naked. She's searching her thighs. Her waxed vulva and then raises her hands in resignation before declaring, "Oops. It looks like my pussy must have eaten it." And then BSP. I learned then how black holes get formed, when you become so embarrassed that you warp reality around yourself so that nobody can actually see you sitting there in shock. I don't go out with friends anymore. 2 girls eating each other out in our basement. We broke it up. They were really drunk. The one lifts her head. Face covered in blood. The other was in midst of full-on Shark Week. I guess true love knows no bounds. I was at a house party and my buddy claimed that he can't get a boner and hasn't for some time. This was when the females of the party decided that the time was right for philanthropy and this was a cause they could get behind. Cue the lap dances. Girl after girl tried their best to give Buddy a rise. But alas. They all failed. Or did they? At one point. Where the attempt was particularly intense. Buddy flashed me a knowing wink. That guy was brilliant. Brilliant. When I was like 16 I saw the guy from the year ahead of me punched a girl from my grade in the face. Hard. Everybody bugged out on him. Obviously. And he ran into the bathroom and locked the door and sobbed obnoxiously loud. This big senior kid wound up busting the doorknob by kicking it several times with maybe 10 to 15 kids standing behind him watching. The door swung open. The guy was sitting on the toilet. Crying with his pants down. Masturbating. Edit, grammar. Spelling. Missed words. Etc. Deleted.